Hey guys, my name is Amanda and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 25 spring and Easter DIYs that I really hope you enjoy. So if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Also giving me a big thumbs up really helps me out here on YouTube. Okay, let's jump into the video. This DIY was originally inspired by Dee Dee's Art Workshop, so I will link her down below so you can check her out. She made something similar to this. So to begin, I'm going to be using a bunny head wreath form from Dollar Tree and a faux wood round sign that has a frame on it from Dollar Tree. I'm going to flip my sign over, place the bunny head wreath on the back, and I'm going to apply a whole bunch of hot glue to that smaller ring in the middle of the bunny head wreath. Once that hot glue is applied, I am then going to come in with a piece of ribbon just so that that hot glue has something to attach to, and this is what it looks like to hold it down. Now I'm going to flip it back over and grab some of this gorgeous burlap that's buffalo check that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. It was $11.99, I believe, for a huge roll and 50% off of that. However, I got it on sale. I think it was after Christmas. I think I got like 90% off, so I got it way cheap. So keep your eye out for after season sales, but even if you have to pay the 50% off, it is still a good deal. I'm covering the ears like you just saw me do. I'm just putting some hot glue on my wreath form. I'm wrapping that fabric around that little wire there and then just folding at the tip of the ear, making sure to glue between each fold and trimming off my excess. Then you have some adorable little bunny ears on top of your little bunny head. This is what that should look like. Purchase these beautiful little paper flowers from the scrapbooking section, $5.99. I believe it was 40% off. I love working with these tiny little paper flowers, but Dollar Tree has tiny little roses if you can find them that are cheaper. So it's really the look that you're going for. I'm just going to arrange my little flowers in a way that I like them by using a hot glue to tack them down. Then I'm going to come in with some little pieces of eucalyptus and just kind of tuck them around these flowers. I'm mostly going to tuck them on either side. I just think this makes such a sweet little headband and I absolutely love how it looks. Now I'm just going to take some ribbon that I like that I had in my stash. I believe it came from Hobby Lobby, but it's been in my stash for a while, and I'm just going to kind of fold it in on itself to create two tiny little bows, which I'm going to place on each ear of this bunny. I'm just going to secure my little bow in the middle with some twine, pulling it tightly, and then I have an adorable little ribbon. Just remember that Dollar Tree has gorgeous ribbons as well, and these patterns are totally customizable if you like the look but you don't like the patterns that I have chosen. I used my Cricut to print out Happy Easter, but Dollar Tree has letter stickers that you could use, or you could freehand on this with a paint marker, whatever you think. But I think this is so beautiful, and you could actually put whatever phrase you like in there. For the next one, I'm going to share with you an Easter topiary tree that is, again, very customizable and was quite easy to make. I began with 4 packages of these Easter eggs from Dollar Tree and 4 colors of my choice. I have a folk art yellow type paint that I mixed some plaster Waverly with. I also have Waverly celery, Waverly Valley slipper, and this folk art blue color, which I again mixed a little bit of Waverly plaster with. I paint all my eggs, giving them 2 generous coats. Here's what they look like. Now I have this tree shape from Hobby Lobby. It was $9.99, but I got it 50% off around Christmas time for about $5. If you don't have one of these on hand, you can also take a poster board from the Dollar Tree, not a foam board, but a thinner poster board, and you can roll it up into a cylinder shape, as I have done in the past, and this works really well for a tree base. Once you have your base, then just begin gluing your eggs on. I am doing mine in no real pattern, just kind of however I like them, just kind of this way and that. They are all pointing upward, but some of them have slants and some of them don't. I am just kind of going with how I feel and using generous amounts of hot glue. So here's what that looks like. Once I get that all done, I'm going to come in with some of this Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, using my little handy dandy tool here from the Dollar tree and being very careful of my fingers, just spreading this moss out between all of these eggs. Now, originally I had planned to wrap some garland around from Dollar Tree, but once I got this tree complete, I couldn't find it. I also thought I had some more small flowers, which I couldn't find as well. So you'll see, once I get my tree all set up, I improvised and just used some tiny little white flowers that I had in my stash, but I think it comes out so cute. I do think it would be adorable with that little garland from the Dollar Tree, and also maybe some other little flowers, whatever you think looks nice. But I do like the little pops of color against that Spanish moss. But I'm just adding moss here and there and all over between these eggs, just kind of pulling it, stretching it out, and making sure that there is not a lot of gaps. Again, please be careful with your fingers. Dollar Tree does sell some little finger protectors, which I would highly advise using. Mine just seem to have legs and walk away and disappear, and nobody has ever seen them. So I just go ahead and do this, but I was very careful and I was fine. I was just so thrilled with how this craft came out. Also, Dollar Tree has several types of mosses. If you don't like this Spanish moss, there are different colors of moss you could use. But here's what it looks like once I added in those little flowers I told you about that I had in my stash, and I just put it in a Dollar Tree bucket, and as well added a little bow to the front that I made from some ribbon from my stash. I think this is absolutely adorable. It was so fun and easy to make, and you could totally make a pair for a mantle or a vignette. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to share with you this jumbo oversized Easter egg. I purchased this egg from the Dollar Tree Plus section. Unfortunately, I removed the stickers and I'm having a bit of a brain lapse here, but I believe it was $3. It's a really nice size, and I'm going to be giving it 3 coats of Waverly Plaster Chalk paint. Once that is done, I'm going to make sure that it's snapped tightly together, and I'm going to take these pretty wall stickers from the Dollar Tree normal section, $1.25, and I'm just taking 2 different types, 2 different sheets, and I'm just going to kind of mix and match them how I like them and how I think they look nice. I'm just going to begin by removing the sticker from the sheet and placing it on top of my egg. Some of the stickers I did have to cut down. Some I placed, like this one I placed and then made a couple of slits in the top so I could smooth it out and make it lay nicely. But basically you just piece all of the pieces on there however you like, and when you're done, you're going to want to give it a generous coat of Mod Podge. You could apply a coat of Mod Podge before laying your stickers down if you wanted to, but this method worked okay for me. For this jumbo sticker, I just cut it right down the middle and then placed it on in these 2 pieces. The important part is just to make sure everything is smoothed down to your liking, and then this is just really fun. I really enjoyed just placing the stickers all over here, going for a look that I like. But if you don't like these stickers, Dollar Tree does have several different types. They also have rub-on transfers that would work, and don't forget to give this a generous coat of Mod Podge to keep your work safe. Here is what it looks like. I just think that it is so pretty and such a beautiful statement piece out of that plastic egg. Okay, let's move along to our next idea, which is kind of more of a flip. I purchased this adorable little bunny a couple of years ago from Dollar General. It was $3.50, I believe. I can't see. I need to get glasses, you guys. I can't see if that says $3 or $3.50. But either way, it was just over or at $3. And I am just going to flip it over and use some of this buffalo check burlap that I've used in several of my videos. It comes in a huge roll from Hobby Lobby for about $11.99, but you can at least get it 50% off usually. And I got it after one of the holidays, so I just paid a couple dollars for it, and one roll lasts forever. I'm going to glue some to the back of the cutout part under my M, and I'm also going to use some to create a cute little bow with tails for my bunny's neck. I'm just going to tie that bow together tightly with a piece of twine twine and make sure that I remove any excess twine before gluing my little bow down. I think this was such a cute and easy way to customize this bunny. It really didn't take much, and I think it gives it a whole new look. I am going to go ahead and just clean up the ribbon at the bottom of this bow to give it a nice fresh look. And I do add a carrot from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has a couple different sizes of carrots. I'm just going to add one in the middle of the bow, kind of angling downward. And here's what my little made over bunny look like. I think that he is adorable and totally matches our next DIY. Okay, so let's move into our next DIY. This was inspired by a DIY I have previously made. I made this one a couple of weeks ago and love how it came out. So I wanted to do something similar for Easter. So here's what we are making today. I have these 2 Christmas signs from the Dollar Tree, one of which I have cut in half and removed the paper. But you could also just use a wood round if you don't have any of these handy Christmas signs on hand. Just be careful cutting it in half. I just went ahead and used a mixture of scissors and a X-Acto knife. Now here I am again with that burlappy type buffalo check fabric. I'm going to cut a strip that goes over my little half piece here. It was the exact perfect size, so I was really excited about that. There's a little bit of space at the top, but I knew that I was going to clean that up, so I wasn't worried about it. I just added some hot glue and carefully smoothed the burlap down onto it. Once it is all in place, I can then flip it over and trim around it for a nice clean finish. I then grabbed another strip and just made sure to line it up at the top so I could just clean up that top. I glued it down, folded it over and glued it down, and then just trimmed off my sides. And now I have a nice cute little front piece for my carrot pocket. Now for my other round, I'm just going to paint it with this Waverly plaster. I'm going to take several of Dollar Tree's tumbling tower blocks and go ahead and glue them down. Now at first I just did one layer of the tumbling tower blocks, but I quickly realized if you want to fit a carrot or at least part of the carrot down in here, you'll need 2 tumbling tower blocks high. So I did several stacks of 2 tumbling tower blocks and then glued down my prepared half round piece. Then I took some of these carrots from the Dollar Tree. They come 6 to a pack for the smaller carrots, and I believe 4 to a pack for the larger carrots, but these are the smaller ones. I'm just angling them this way and that. Not perfect. I really wanted them to just kind of look cute in here. And then I'm just taking a strip of that fabric that I had cut down, and I'm going along the side of the bottom because, as you can see, because I put the tumbling tower blocks there, it creates a gap. I really did not like the way that gap looked, so I'm just cleaning it up by gluing the fabric all along the edge. I'm just making sure that that fabric matches up to the side of the round here, and then I'm just going to flip everything over and glue the excess fabric down in the back. Once I'm finished with this, I do cover the back of the sign with some brown craft paper for a finished look. This is optional, but I like to do this. So here's what we have. Here's what it looks like. I really think it's adorable, but I wanted to add a few more touches, so I am going to go around underneath this little lip of burlap here with several rows of twine. Then I glue an extra little bunny butt that I had down to the front of this pocket, as well as a cute little jute twine bow to one of my carrots. I did decide to go in and add some greenery, but first I just took a little excess strip of ribbon and used it as a holder for the top of this. I glued it to the back there. And here I am with some more pieces of this greenery that I'm just going to tuck down in between the carrots. I really didn't even have to use a lot of glue. I just kind of shoved it down in there. And I think this little carrot pocket is so adorable, and I hope you like it too. Okay, moving into this next one. I absolutely love how it turned out, and it is this cute little bunny pizza dish. I had some egg window clings that I wanted to use up, so that is where this idea came from. I have a pizza pan from Dollar Tree and also a wooden bunny cutout from Dollar Tree, and as I said, I had some little egg window clings that came off the sheet from Dollar Tree. We're going to begin by painting our bunny and our pizza pan with Waverly plaster. I painted the pan plaster as a primer, and then I painted over the middle of the pan with the Waverly Ballet Slipper chalk paint, which I also used for the inside of my bunny's ears. I then coated my bunny in a generous coat of Mod Podge. Once the Mod Podge was applied, I then am going to lay down these window cling eggs in the way that I think they look pretty. This came with a beautiful bunny on the middle of this window cling sheet that I have used in a previous DIY. I also had some of these little florals that I placed on my bunny's neck. So here, basically just no rhyme or reason. I'm just placing them however I like them. And once that is done, we have a cute little bunny that I'm going to glue onto my prepared pizza pan. I'm just going to place some tumbling tower blocks down and use them as a riser for my little bunny so that it just stands just slightly off of my pizza pan, because as you can see, it's a little large. Now I'm going to take some foam eggs from Dollar Tree that I have cut in half, and I am going to paint them with Waverly Ballet Slipper, Waverly Celery, and this blue color by Folk Art. I'm not quite sure why I showed you Waverly Plaster again, maybe because that's what I use for the bunny, but however, we glue our little green and pink and blue eggs down here. You could add more eggs if you wanted to. This is just what I had on hand. I had 2 of these little foam eggs, so I split them in half, and I thought this looked perfect with my little window clings and gave a 3D appearance. So I'm just kind of arranging them here and there and gluing them down with some hot glue in a way that I think looks really pretty. Once that is done, I'm going to tuck some greenery around them, just here and there, kind of looking wily, and it just reminds me of spring, and I think it's so pretty. It also ties in that little floral at the bunny's neck. Once that is done, I'm going to make a bow for the top of my bunny using some beautiful ribbon that is from Hobby Lobby. You can purchase Hobby Lobby's spring items on sale right now. I'm just going to fold it like so, bunch it in the middle, and tie it tightly with a piece of twine. But you could also use a pipe cleaner or a zip tie if you had one on hand. The most important thing about creating a bow is just making sure that you cinch your middle tightly so you can fluff it out nicely. I then love to fold my bow tails over it and cut a triangle upward for a beautiful boutique finish. Once that is done, you'll want to glue your bow down at the top of this pizza pan wherever you like and think looks pretty. I did put some greenery on either side of the bow just to make it cohesive with the bottom of this pizza pan, and I think that this is so gorgeous and so unique. Like I said in the beginning, I wasn't quite sure of it, but I did not want to waste those beautiful watercolor eggs, and I think that this came out really well. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think about this DIY. Of course, I love to know what you think about all of the DIYs and what your favorite DIY is, but here is what it looks like displayed. And again, I just think it's super cute. You could also use a frame stand that Dollar Tree carries, or you could attach a hanger. Let's move right into our next DIY, the square floral sign. This one is super easy, and we're going to use some of the window clings left over that had that bunny on it, and also the square sign from the Dollar Tree that already has a beautiful beaded hanger attached. So we're just going to go ahead and put some glue stick on the back of this gorgeous little Easter blessings window cling and place it in the middle of our sign, smoothing it down. Again, you could use Mod Podge if you wanted to. I'm going to paint the frame of this sign with my Waverly Ballet Slipper chalk paint, and here are those tiny little roses from Hobby Lobby that are $2.99, but you can purchase them 50% off, and I just used a few of them off of that bunch, along with some of this greenery that I had in my stash. I'm just going to create a little swag at the top side of my sign, and here's what it looks like. It looks absolutely precious placed with my pizza pan. So I hope you like that DIY as well. Okay, for the next one, you will need an easel from Dollar Tree, a small wooden easel. They come in several different colors. A wooden crate from Dollar Tree. This is the one where the slats are not separated very much. And also this garland from Dollar Tree that has these gingham print bunny and carrots. You can use any color bunny that you like, or even the carrot if you wanted to. And some moss from Dollar Tree. I'm going to begin with a color paint that is very similar to the bunny that I have chosen. And I'm going to paint my crate with 2 coats of that color. Next, I'm going to stand my easel up right inside of that crate. It is a perfect fit. And then I am going to add some hot glue to the back of the easel where those sides are going to attach to the inside of my crate. I will also add some hot glue to the back part of the easel and just allow that to rest up against the outside of my crate, and that way everything is nice and stable, but I can reuse it later if I should choose to do so. Next, I'm going to add some hot glue to the back of my little bunny and place it toward the top of this easel sign, allowing room at the bottom for some carrots. I had these cute little roses from Hobby Lobby that I purchased on clearance, and I just used a small portion of the package to create a little floral crown on top of my bunny and hide those little holes from where the garland went through. I added some of the moss and a few of the carrots, and here's what this looks like for under $5, and you still have a lot of product left over for another DIY. I hope that you like this one, and moving on to the next one, we're going to make a gingham print bunny sign. This is super easy and super cute. So I just grabbed a sign that I had in my stash. I actually got this sign back when everything was $1, but any sign that you have in your stash or even a piece of foam board would work. I have this package of trim from Dollar Tree, and we're not using the whole thing, as well as 3 different packages of these gingham bunnies from Dollar Tree, but we're not using them all. I removed the twine from my sign and painted my sign with Waverly white chalk paint. I am then going to lay out my bunnies in a pattern that I like, and again we'll have several bunnies left over, so this project is under $5. The way that I did this was just added some hot glue to the very middle of each bunny, and that way if I needed to mess with the arrangement of the feet later on, I could just pop those feet out because they were not glued down. So hopefully that makes sense, because here I noticed I had a little mistake in my pattern, so I was able to just pull the feet out and fix my pattern. So there's what that looks like. Now I came in with this piece of trim from that trim package from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take this adorable little bunny trim and wrap it around the top, attaching on each side with some hot glue, and that is about how easy this project is. You could set it on a vignette or you could add a hanger to the back, but I just think that this is so stinking cute. You could even add letters to each bunny if you wanted to spell out Welcome Easter with a little space in the middle. If you use 12 bunnies like I did, you could totally do that. Okay, this next DIY is going to be a reversible pizza sign DIY, which is a twofer. I began by painting this entire pizza pan with several coats of Waverly Snow White chalk paint. You can sand your pizza pan first so it takes the paint better. Then I grabbed these window clings from Dollar Tree that are absolutely adorable, and I am going to apply some glue stick to the back of this truck, and I'm just going to place it on the back of my pizza pan like so, just kind of smoothing it down. You could use a stronger glue stick. Mine was a little bit weak, or you could Mod Podge to adhere your window clings. I then grabbed a little 3D bunny butt that comes in a pack from Dollar Tree. I believe there are 6 butts to a pack, and I glued that right on top of the bunny butt in the image to give it a 3D effect. I then grabbed some of this crafting rope from Hobby Lobby. This is just a very small piece of the huge roll that I purchased. I really love this crafting rope. It is super soft and cottony, and it actually is placed where the actual rope is at Hobby Lobby. It is my new favorite crafting find, and they have it in several different colors. I go around the edge of that pizza pan twice and just glue down my edges. Here's what the first sign looks like. The only thing I would have done a little bit differently is just completed the other side before gluing on that butt, but I still made it work with the butt attached and all. So now let's get into the bonus, which is the flip side of this DIY. So by the time you reach this point in the DIY, your pizza pan will already be painted your color of choice. I grabbed some different window clings that I liked from Dollar Tree as well, applied some glue stick to the back of this gorgeous bunny, and placed it right in the middle of this pizza pan. So here's what that looks like, and I am using the inside or the front side of the pizza pan for this. I then added a couple of smaller embellishments off of that window cling sheet, and a bow I had pre-made for another project with 2 loops on either side. I just attached the bow and tried to angle it downward so it didn't show through the other side. I added a couple of tiny roses that I had in my stash that I purchased off of a pick at Hobby Lobby, and here you go. It's adorable, but I decided to take it up one more step by putting some Waverly Valley slipper chalk paint on a brush and just brushing around the edge of my pizza pan on this side. And for under $5, you have an adorable double-sided craft. You still have tons of window clings left over that you can use for other projects. I would recommend getting a plate stand from Dollar Tree to stand this DIY on top of. Okay, this next one is super easy and really more of an idea. If you have something similar to this, these type of cookie jars or kitchen decorations can be used for floral arrangements. I found this adorable little ceramic piece last year after Easter. I believe it was 90% off, and it is a kitchen item. But I'm going to create a floral arrangement using some 50% off Hobby Lobby florals, but you could totally use Dollar Tree florals as well. I'm also going to be using a bunny butt from the Dollar Tree, and I can only find one with little blue paws, but they do sell little pink paws as well. I am going to use some Dollar Tree floral foam, wedge it down into the back of this little truck, and just arrange my roses at various different lengths. I'm also going to use some of this beautiful eucalyptus from Hobby Lobby that I purchased 50% off that comes on a long trailing pick. But again, Dollar Tree has beautiful greenery as well. So here's what my arrangement looks like at various different heights. And you can customize this any way you like. I'm going to use some Waverly Valley slipper to paint the little pads and toes on my bunny to give it the pink look that I want. I wasn't sure how the paint was going to take to the little pads here on this bunny, but it works out just fine. And here's what this looks like. So adorable, looking like a little bunny got into a rose garden. So to just give you an idea, if you have a little piece of kitchen glass you can repurpose. Next, I'm going to show you how I made these adorable, reversible, but very customizable bunnies. I began with these two bunnies from Hobby Lobby. They are quite thick, and they are $4.99 before any sale price, but you should be able to get them 40% off right now. I was just showing you how thick they were, and I gave them a coat of Waverly Plaster Chalk Paint, paying special attention to the sides. I chose two scrapbook papers that I liked, and also some embellishments. These little florals are from the scrapbooking section, and they were on sale as well. I traced my bunnies onto the scrapbook paper, and I used generous amount of this glue stick on both the paper and the wood to attach my scrapbook paper. And of course I did that on either side, and I did it so that my bunnies could face each other. Then I Mod Podged over my paper and allowed that to dry. Next I came in with these adorable little scrapbooking flowers again, but Dollar Tree does sell tiny little florals. If you're lucky enough to find them, you could use those as well. I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue dots from Dollar Tree to adhere my little florals down so I create little floral crowns on my bunnies. So I'm just going to add 5 or 6 flowers to each bunny a way that I think looks nice, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other type of scrapbook paper on the other side of my bunnies. And that is how easy it was. These are so adorable and so customizable. I hope you like this idea. Okay, this next DIY is super easy and quick, and a great idea if you have any scrap wood laying around. So when I was at Hobby Lobby, I saw these little blocks left over from Valentine's Day. They were 90% off, and so they were about 24 cents. And again, you could find little wooden blocks or any type of wooden scrap that you have laying around for this, but I thought it was just so perfect because the sides were already painted, and I chose a scrapbook paper that was different in each section of the page. It was kind of an ombre. I purchased it at Michael's in a spring scrapbook pack last year, but they have tons of different pages like this, and that way each one of my blocks is a little bit different. I adhered the scrapbook paper using my glue stick again, and then just put some words on from my Cricut. But Dollar Tree has tons of options for you. They have letter stickers, they have rub-on transfers, lots of different ways to get images or words on here. And then I just recommend Mod Podging over the paper just to give it a little bit of protection. And here's what this looks like. So easy, customizable, and really adorable for just a few cents. Okay, let's jump right into our next idea, where we are going to use some more Dollar Tree items. Something I love to do with Dollar Tree items is take some of their signs and kind of mismatch the pieces on there. So I'm going to take this Dollar Tree sign and I'm going to remove this 3D piece off of the middle. I am then going to go ahead and take some of these little wooden bunnies that come 12 to a pack from Dollar Tree and some scrapbook paper. And a little later on in this video, you'll see what I meant about mixing and matching the sign pieces. But for this one, I'm just going to cover that 3D piece in a piece of scrapbook paper from a scrapbook from Michael's. But again, there are so many options for scrapbook paper between Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I just liked this scrapbook paper because I liked the fact that it had these little florals at the bottom. I used my glue stick to attach this down onto my little 3D piece and then glued the piece back down onto the sign base. I just left the background with those pink and white checks as I thought that was adorable, but you could have changed that had you wanted to. And then I'm just going to glue down these little wooden bunnies in a cute pattern. I just figured out how I wanted them placed and then began hot gluing them down. I did kind of a one low, one high little pattern, but you could do 2 lines straight across or just 1 line, whatever you like. But here's how it looked like, and this is just like a 5-minute project, super quick, super easy, fun and customizable. I just think it is so bright and pretty for spring and Easter. This next DIY is super easy, super customizable. This little bunny with a carrot purse. So I'm gonna again take that big huge roll of burlap and I'm going to take a long strip of it and I'm just going to cut off a piece that I can fold over on itself. I'm going to be creating a little purse or a little pouch. So here it looks like folded over, and now I'm just going to take some hot glue and glue both sides. Of course, I'm going to leave the top open. Once I get both sides glued, I'm just going to trim the top to make sure that I have a nice clean finish on the top. Here's what it looks like. I'm actually going to glue my little carrots down inside of my little bag so that they don't wiggle around on me, but that's totally optional. You could even put a little bit of filling down in the inside of your bag if you wanted to. I added a little jute twine bow to the top of my bag. I did end up folding it down a little bit later because I made it a little bit too big for my bunny originally, but that is how I did it. I traced my bunny onto some scrapbook paper. This particular one came from a pad from Michael's, and I used a hot glue stick to attach my scrapbook paper to my bunny. I then glued my little carrot bag down at an angle on top of my bunny. I added a couple of little jute twine bows to my bunny's ears so it looks like it has little piggy bunny tails. I'm not sure how that works, but super cute. I just trimmed down the tails to get the look that I was going for. This project is like a 5-minute project. It is just so adorable, I think. If you wanted to replace the greenery on the carrot with some eucalyptus or something like that, you totally could, but I love this project and I hope you like it as well. So for this next one, we're going to make a bigger little bunny bag full of carrots and eggs. So again, I just folded this burlap over on itself to make a little pouch, gluing either side. And once my little pouch is made, I'm going to set it aside. I'm taking another strip of that burlap and I'm going to go ahead and cut off the stitching on the side. Now I'm just going to cut 2 pieces that I think the width looks good off of, and I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together. This is going to be the handle of our little messenger style bag. Once I get these 2 pieces glued together, I'll then take my scissor and just kind of trim so that these pieces are neat and uniform. So I'm just kind of trimming off the edges, removing any excess, and just kind of making this look neat and tidy. Once that is done, we can attach it to our little pocket bag by just adding some hot glue to the inside and just attaching the end of that little handle inside on either side. And here is what our little messenger bag looks like. Super, super cute. Now you could totally stuff the bottom with whatever you wanted to stuff it with to fill it out. I didn't. I just went ahead and glued my little carrots and my little eggs to the top. I did kind of cut one of the eggs in half so it would fit a little bit better. I think I cut down a carrot too, so you can kind of play with this and just get it however you want it. You could even fill it with some greenery or some florals if you preferred. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tie a little piece of twine around my bag just for some embellishment. I cut off the excess and added a twine bow, and here is what it looks like. So cute. Okay, let's move into the next one. This one is so beautiful and again very customizable. I'm going to use an egg-shaped wreath form from the Dollar Tree, some Dollar Tree ribbon, and from the plus section I am going to use this beaded egg garland. If you cannot find this, no worries. They do sell some eggs that you could use, and you could just use a beaded garland that they also sell separately, or a beaded garland from another craft store, or you could just do the eggs, whatever you like. I'm going to cover my egg wreath form with this ribbon by just wrapping it around and then gluing down, trimming off any excess so that I have a nice base to begin gluing my items on top of. So here's what that looks like. Now I'm just going to take that egg garland and I am going to begin zigzagging it back and forth. Now this is not going to cover my whole wreath form. If you want to cover your whole wreath form, you will need 2 of these. I wasn't worried about it because I knew I was going to create a bow and also some greenery, but I'm just zigzagging it just like this. And again, if you wanted to space them out more, you could even cut the eggs off the garland. There's so many different ways you could do this, but this was easy for me. I just continued to bend the garland and just form this kind of zigzag shape. Just use hot glue to attach my eggs down, and I held each egg for a second or two until it attached to my project. I also cut off the loop at either end. That was the original hanger for this garland. And now I'm going to take some of this eucalyptus and I'm going to put it on either side. Again, I like to buy a huge trailing bunch from Hobby Lobby and just cut pieces off. You can get it super inexpensive if you get it at a 50% off sale. So I'm just using hot glue to attach down this greenery, and here's what that should look like. Then I'm going to take little pieces of greenery and go between each egg and the beaded garland. I just thought that it looked a little bare and that this would dress it up and bring everything together. So here's what that looks like. Now I have a little bunch of roses from Hobby Lobby. This was $2.99 and then the 50% off. And I'm just going to place 1 rose in between each egg and glue that down. Now I found this ribbon at Dollar Tree in the plus section for $3, but they also still have gorgeous ribbons in the regular section for $1.25 as well. I'm just going to form one of the bows that I like to call my X bow by just looping around on either side. This one, however, is going to have 3 loops on either side, and then I'm just going to pinch it in the middle and tie it tightly with a piece of twine like I love to do. And once that is done, you can go ahead and fluff out the sides of your bow. When I'm explaining how I make my bows, I always like to say that the tighter that you tie your bow in the middle, the more of a fluff you can get on either side, and the more you fluff your bow, the better it looks. Now I'm going to take a spare piece of ribbon and I'm going to tie it right around the middle of my bow just to add a little bit of decoration in the middle and also give me some pretty trailing tails. So here is what that looks like. Now I'm going to dovetail my tails by just folding the ribbon over and cutting a triangle upward. And then I have a cute little bow. I did leave one tail a little longer than the other because I like that look. I am gluing it down onto my wreath into the little space that I had left for it. And here is what it looks like. I think it is so adorable, so sweet. I don't even really know what style to call this, but I just think it is so sweet with the little roses and the beautiful pastel colors. I honestly think this is probably my favorite DIY in this video, but you will have to let me know in the comments below what you think and what your favorite DIY is. Okay, next I'm going to show you how I created this gorgeous carrot door or wall hanging using a carrot wreath form from the Dollar Tree that I kind of split in half, and also this carrot patch sign from the Dollar Tree as well, and some Dollar Tree ribbons. Now I had split this carrot in half very easily with some wire cutters. You could probably even just bend it back and forth and it would pop open, and then I just wrapped both pieces with this Dollar Tree faux burlap, this beautiful orange color, but of course that's customizable. When I get to the tip of my carrot, I'm just going to bend the ribbon inward to keep the shape that I want, the carrot shape that is. Now I'm just going to wrap the other half of the carrot, and I'm not going to wrap that top part as I have another plan for that, but I'm just covering the base here, and now I'm just figuring out exactly how I want my piece to sit on the back of this sign so it looks like that this sign is placed on top of the carrot. Once I glue down my carrot pieces, pieces. Everything is flipped over. I'm going to put a few strips of fabric across the wire forms to hold them on and also clean up any metal edges. Now I'm going to take this ribbon and go across the top where my greenery is going to go, so my greenery does not fall through that open space. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it underneath that top orange piece of ribbon, and that way it looks like this greenery is sprouting out. Now this greenery is from Hobby Lobby. I like to buy a giant pick of it when it's 50% off and just kind of clip off little pieces, but Dollar Tree does have some pretty greenery as well. So I'm just using hot glue to tack down these greenery pieces to the ribbon and also underneath that orange piece of ribbon until I get the fullness that I like. Here's what that should look like. And now I'm going to go ahead and create a bow with this Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon. I am just going to fold it over until I have 3 loops on either side, and then I'm going to pinch it tightly in the middle, and this will form the base of my bow. For this particular bow, I'm going to take a spare piece of ribbon and add that into my little pinch at the middle so I have some tails. I'm going to tie it tightly with a piece of twine, but you could also use a pipe cleaner or a zip tie if you preferred. I'm just going to trim off the excess of twine and fluff out my bow nicely, just getting it to lay the way I want it to, kind of twisting my tails. Then I'm going to dovetail my tails, which just means I'm going to fold them over and cut a triangle upwards like so. So I have a beautiful boutique finished bow. I'm just going to attach this to the side of my carrot in a way that I think looks nice. Then I did decide to come back in with another little piece of that ribbon and just go across there under the greenery. So it looks like there was a band before the bow was placed down, if that makes sense. I just think that gives a better finished look. Then I'm adding a little twine bow to the middle of my bow and also to that sign. And here's what it looks like. It's so pretty and it's so customizable. You could change the ribbon colors. I just think that it is so cute, again, for a wall or even a door hanger. For the next one, I'm going to show you how I made this adorable little bunny bottom carrot wreath. So I began with a Dollar Tree wreath form and some fabric. This was actually a tablecloth that I purchased 90% off at Hobby Lobby, but any fabric or ribbon will do. You just need strips that you can glue down and wrap all the way around your wreath form. Once your wreath form is prepared, you can set it aside and go ahead and begin on this bunny bottom. This is actually an adorable wood cutout that I purchased at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to rub it all over that bottom, and I'm also going to rub it off to make sure that I have it blended nicely. I am then going to paint those little feet and that tail with Waverly Plaster Chalk Paint. I allowed a little bit of that antique wax to show through to give these a distressed look, but if you did not want that look, you could just give a second coat of the plaster chalk paint. Once the chalk paint is completely dry, I'm going to go in with some of this ballet slipper chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to paint a large circle, or more of like an oval really, on each foot to resemble the little foot pad, and then I'm going to do 3 smaller circles on each foot to resemble the toes. I just have a small little brush here and I'm just going in a circular motion. These are not perfect, but I do not think they have to be. You're done with your little bunny bottom and you can go ahead and attach it to your prepared wreath form. I use Gorilla Hot Glue and I apply it generously all over my wreath form space where I'm going to put this little bottom, and then I press the wood cutout down. Once that is done, I flip it over and add some more hot glue to make sure that this thing is nicely secured and is not going to come popping off. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take some Dollar Tree carrots, and I had a couple of garlands from last year that come with 6 of the smaller carrots. I end up using about 20 carrots on here, but I am just going to start gluing them down with a little bit of space in between each one. So I began on either side and just go all the way to the top. Now you'll see I left a space at the top because I thought I was going to add a bow. But I end up going ahead and filling that space in with the carrots because I decide to not give this a bow. So I just use hot glue to apply these carrots down. I just kind of eyeball it. The spaces are not exact. I just try and leave a little space between each one because I'm going to come in with 2 bags of this Dollar Tree reindeer moss, and I'm just going to take little pinches between my fingers. I'm going to apply hot glue to the wreath form between the carrots and shove that reindeer moss in down between those cracks. So here I am with the hot glue, and then just take a little bunch of the reindeer moss and just shove it down in there. This reindeer moss I absolutely love. It does not flake off as much as the Spanish moss for me. So once I get that all done, here I am just filling in that little gap at the top I told you about with a couple of more carrots and then some more of that moss. Now I'm taking 3 tiny little jute twine bows and attaching them where I would normally attach a bow, just to add a little extra. Now Dollar Tree is carrying twine carrots again this year. They are a little bit bigger, but if that's all you can find, that would look absolutely adorable too. So here is what my little bunny butt looks like. I think it is so cute, so springy, and very rustic, and you could really customize this to whatever your style is. You could add a little sign to it about a garden or whatever you think is cute. Okay, here is another idea. For this one, I am going to show you another super cute and easy project. So what you will need is this egg tray from Dollar Tree. It comes in the party section. It is plastic. And then you can use a candlestick or a mason jar, whatever you like. So I went ahead and gave this 3 coats of Waverly plastered chalk paint. So I did not paint the bottom of the middle so that this jar, which is actually an old spaghetti jar, will adhere nicely. So I also gave the jar 2 coats of my Waverly plastered chalk paint. Once that is done, I'm going to put generous amounts of hot glue right inside the mouth of my jar so that when I put it upside down onto this tray, well, the bottom of the tray, the glue will drip down and adhere it. Then I also put some more glue around the outside of the mouth of the tray once it's attached, and I cover up my messy work with some Dollar Tree rope. I just wrap it around the mouth of the jar a few times and glue it down, trimming off any excess. So here is what we have so far. Now I am also going to kind of make this more cohesive by going around the top of this tray with tiny dabs of hot glue and more of this Dollar Tree rope. So I used 1 rope for around the jar and around the top. I did have a little extra, but that is what you will need from Dollar Tree. So once I get to the end, I just cut off the excess and glue that end down. Now I'm showing you what this looks like styled with some Dollar Tree eggs that come 6 to a pack, a little bit of moss in the middle with some adorable Dollar Tree bunnies and carrots, but you could put whatever you like in the middle. The sky is the limit. You could put a bird's nest in there or some florals, a little plant, whatever you think is adorable. But I love this cute project and I hope you do too. Okay, here is a quick and easy, super fun wreath. This is fun and playful, and if you have kiddos, they will probably love it. So I grabbed some of these bunny butts from Dollar Tree that come 6 to a pack and 1 larger bunny butt that comes on a pick. I also grabbed a Dollar Tree wreath ring and also some Dollar Tree ribbon that I had in my stash. I'm just going to wrap the wreath ring in the ribbon. I did have to use a little bit of a different roll to get the whole thing covered, but then I'm just going to take my bunny butts and I'm going to be gluing them to this wreath form. I'm going to break that larger butt off of that pick and I'm just going to glue that down kind of catty corner to where I know that my bow is going to go, and I'm going to be placing my bow where I have that different ribbon. Now I'm just gluing these all down, making sure the little feet are facing outward, and I just think that this is so adorable. Just to dress it up a little bit, I'm taking some of this Dollar Tree pom-pom ribbon, and they have this in several different colors to include yellow and blue, and I'm just going to be wrapping it between each butt. This part of the voiceover is kind of cracking me up because I'm saying some really weird things, but I am wrapping them between the butts. And once that is done, I am going to form my bow. For this, I'm doing my X bow by just taking some Dollar Tree ribbon that I liked and folding it over until it forms an X with 2 loops on either side. I'll then cut off the excess and place that down. I repeat that with a different Dollar Tree ribbon that I absolutely love and place that on top. I'm going to be tying these all together with a piece of jute twine, but you could also use a zip tie or a cable tie or pipe cleaner, however you want to call that. Once you get everything tightly secured, then you can go ahead and fluff your bow out. This is what my bow looks like. Sorry about the little bit of background noise. My bulldog likes to play around and her tags jingle. So once my bow is ready, I'm just going to take an extra strip of this ribbon and I'm going to use it to tie my bow onto my wreath, and that also adds a little extra decoration. I fluff everything out again and take another strip of that pom-pom ribbon and place it around the middle of my bow. I then decided to cut a couple of strips of ribbon for tails and just go ahead and glue those underneath my ribbon loops. I dovetail the ends of my ribbon tails by just cutting a triangle upward, and that just gives them a boutique finish and makes them look really nice in my opinion. And then here's what you have, a super fun, I think it's a great conversation starter because it's just so adorable and easy to make. Next we have this gorgeous welcome round using a welcome sign from Dollar Tree and a large 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby. You can get them 6 to a pack or 3 to a pack depending on the thickness, and if you get them 40 or 50% off, then they're very inexpensive. I took my wood round, I chose a thicker one, and I painted it with Waverly Celery chalk paint. Now for the next step, I would normally use painter's tape. I didn't have any on hand, but I did have this roll of long skinny vinyl from Dollar Tree. I placed strips of the vinyl to section off the place that I wanted to paint, and I painted that with Waverly Snow White chalk paint. I then removed my vinyl strips and I had a nice clean line. I then took my welcome sign from Dollar Tree, cut off the hanger, and painted the whole thing with Waverly Ballet Slipper chalk paint. I painted the leaves with Waverly Celery and that little pitchfork looking thing and the pot with the Snow White chalk paint by Waverly. I glued my welcome down right on top of that nice white stripe, and then I began to form my bow with some ribbon I had in my stash. I believe it came from Michael's on clearance last year, but I just looped it over until I had 3 loops on either side. This is similar to my Expo, but instead of having 2 loops, it has 3. I do fold it the same way though, and I secure it in the middle with a zip tie. You could also use a pipe cleaner or twine if you prefer. Just remember, the tighter you pull it, the better your bow will fluff out. I removed the excess of the zip tie and glued my bow down on an angle at the top of my welcome round, being sure to refluff once my bow was attached. I had some of these pink roses in my stash. I believe they were from Walmart last year, but Dollar Tree has gorgeous florals as well, and I'm just going to be gluing a couple of little roses inside of my bow in the middle, and then I'm just going to take some greenery that came with them and also some spare greenery I had in my stash, and I'm just going to glue that under the bow so it's kind of poking out a little bit, along with some more roses. I'm just kind of forming a swag that I think looks super cute. You may need to cut down your roses in the back a little bit so that that little base of the rose lays nicely onto your round, but here's what it looks like. I think it is absolutely adorable and very customizable to whatever colors you would like to paint your welcome round and whatever bow or ribbon you would like to use, as well as the floral embellishments. But here's what mine looks like, and I added a hanger with a piece of jute twine and just put a piece of ribbon over that for stability. And here is my gorgeous welcome round. I absolutely love it. I think it is so pretty and dainty for spring. You'll have to let me know what you think and if you're going to be recreating something like this as well. Dollar Tree also has a garden sign that you could use in place of the welcome if you preferred to do that, if you wanted to hang it somewhere near a garden. Okay, this next idea is also quick and easy in keeping with the theme of this video. It's about a 5-minute DIY. Dollar Tree sells these little carrot bags and they come 2 to a pack. I had 3 on hand, so I am going to take some spare stuffing from an old pillow and I am Going to stuff these carrots and tie them tightly. Once they're tied tightly, I will cut off the excess on my green ties, and I'm going to take 3 lengths of twine, each at different lengths, as I want my carrots to hang differently. I'm going to tie one end of my twine very tightly around the top of each carrot. Then I'm just going to go ahead and stuff down some Dollar Tree greenery into that hole to be the greenery of my carrot. Then I'm going to go ahead and gather up all 3 pieces of twine. So I have an adorable little bunch of carrots, but you could add a few more carrots on here if you wanted to. Once I knot my twine at the top, I'll just cut off any excess, and here's what it looks like. Now I'm going to create a bow for the top. I found this beautiful and very thick ribbon from the Dollar Tree Plus section, and I'm just going to loop it over into my classic Expo formation, so there's 2 loops on either side. Now I also found this beautiful carrot ribbon from Dollar Tree from the $1.25 section, and I'm going to loop it over until I have 3 loops on either side. I'm going to scrunch all of my ribbons together and tie them tightly with a piece of twine, but you could use a pipe cleaner or a zip tie if you prefer. Just make sure that you pull it as tight as possible, because the tighter that you tie your bow, the better you can fluff it out. So once I get that all fluffed out, I'll be ready to attach it to the top of my carrot bunch. You can just use those little pieces of twine hanging off the back of the bow to tie it to that knot at the top of the carrot bunch. I decided last minute I wanted some tails, as I thought it looked a little bare since I didn't have any more carrots to dangle at different levels. So I just added these tails by just tying on another strip of ribbon and arranging it. And then of course I'm going to dovetail the bottom for a boutique finish. And here's my adorable little bunch of carrots. Again, it would be super cute if you added some more carrots, or you could do your carrot strings shorter, or you could even add a little sign at the top of the bunch instead of a bow, a little cute carrot sign. Whatever you think looks nice. This one is quick, easy, and customizable. I had this reversible standing sign in my stash from Aldi's that I purchased after 4th of July. So I decided to leave the freedom side and just use the other side. I love how this just stands on a table for a vignette. I have this scrapbook pack that I purchased at Michael's a couple of years ago. I just chose 2 pieces of paper that were the same because my sign is really long, and I'm just going to be piecing them together so that they look like one cohesive piece. So I'm just figuring out exactly how to place them, trimming everything down to size, and then I'm just going to place this on my sign like so. After I give this sign a coat of Waverly Plaster Chalk Paint. Once the chalk paint is dried, I'm going to apply Mod Podge to the bottom where my paper is going to go, and just place that paper down. Again, this craft is so quick and easy. You could use a Dollar Tree sign if you had one in your stash. You could use any paper and paint colors that you like. So again, super quick, super easy. Once this is all done, I do Mod Podge over the top of the paper for protection and allow that to dry. Then I'm going to take this pack of 6 bunny butts from the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I'm just going to place my butts in a position that I like on my side, and then I'm going to glue them down one by one. Then I'm just going to add some words to the top of mine, but this is optional. I printed out Spring Forward on my Cricut and placed that down. But Dollar Tree has wall stickers or rub-on transfers if you prefer to use that, or you could just leave that space empty. But I think this sign is so cute for spring and Easter. You'll have to let me know what you think. And next we have this adorable egg basket that you can use as a planter or to hold decor or even a gift basket. So I'm going to begin with this wire trash can from Dollar Tree and 5 Dollar Tree egg garlands. Now I'm going to cut my trash can in half with these wire snips, and I do not throw away the top half. I actually use it for another project in a different video. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint my basket here with Waverly Pool chalk paint. Now you could spray paint this, but it was snowing this day, so I just went ahead and used a brush to paint this. Once it is dry, I'm going to take my garlands and I'm going to untie them. Now, I do realize quickly that you want to put a tiny dab of hot glue on the last egg of either end so they don't slide off while you are working. Then once that is done, you can go ahead and just start gluing this down around your basket. So I put it into position, and then I put a dab of hot glue under each egg, and I hold it firmly until the glue has set. Now again, I'm going to do 5 layers like this, and I will have some eggs left from each layer. So here I am with the first one, and then on the second one, I start also adding dabs of hot glue to the inside of the basket just to make sure that these eggs are very firmly in place and they're not going anywhere. I also make sure that each layer starts with a different color so it's all kind of staggered and looks super cute. Now when I get to my top layer, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tie these ends of the garland together so that it holds my eggs in place while I glue each one down. Once that is done, I simply cut off this twine here and add an extra egg into that space. So here I am just gluing from the inside to make sure that this is nice and stable. So this project was so easy, but I think it is so adorable. And again, like I said, it's good for so many different things. You could put wrapped goodies in here. You could put a plant in here, use it as an Easter basket. It would also be easy to add a handle to it if you wanted to. But here's what it looks like. And my last step was to go ahead and take my wire snips and use them to bend down the top of that wire just so that nobody gets poked or stabbed with those little points. So here's what this looks like displayed with some Dollar Tree greenery, and I'll also show you what it looks like with a bunny and a adorable little carrot from Dollar Tree that I just stuffed using a couple of grocery bags. So I really hope that you like this project. I feel like it's a very traditional project and it is so cute. So that is it for me. I really hope that you enjoy these DIYs today. If you made it all the way to the end, you are absolutely amazing. Please leave me a smiley face in the comments to let me know that you made it to the end. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that. And as always, giving me a big thumbs up really helps me out. Take care, friends. I will see you very soon.